Alright, what's going on, everybody? This is Z3 here, back to a brand new video. It's week 3 already. Our weekly recap of college football. Another great week. Close games, upsets, surprises. Got the Hawaii Dynasty on NCAA Football 25 video game going strong. I've just uploaded that at the time I'm recording this, which will go out tomorrow, Monday, as it is Sunday. So I just uploaded the Hawaii game. First road game, so be sure to go watch that if you haven't at this point when this uploads. More Space Marine 2 content coming as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. College football week 3 recap. First game on Friday, which I thought was going to be the game of the week until I realized that it was on a Friday night and not. Saturday was Arizona and Kansas State, 14 versus 20. Now I thought that Arizona was underrated with Noah Fifta and McMillan going up against Kansas State with Avery Johnson. This was a blowout, 31-7. As you can see here, Arizona got shut out. After the first quarter, they got shut out. Noah Fifta did not even have a single passing touchdown. Meanwhile, McMillan still had 103 8 yards receiving, which was very impressive. But this definitely was not expected at all for Kansas State to blow out Arizona, and perhaps a wake-up call to the rest of the nation. Prove that Kansas State is the real deal and might just. I personally, as I said last week, I thought Arizona might win out the Big 12 and be in the playoffs, but it looks like I was wrong. It might be Kansas State who wins out the Big 12 because they just blew out Arizona, who, in my thought, besides Oklahoma State, was the toughest competition. I thought it would be Arizona, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State as the top 3 teams in the newly made Big 12, but it seems Kansas State is in a league of their own. Maybe Arizona just had a bad game. I don't know. But I'll tell you who did have a good game, and that is Avery Johnson. 14. Let's not play that. 14 and 23, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns passing, and 110 yards rushing. He's the quarterback, by the way, so they might be a bit happy that they have him instead of Will Howard, because very impressive young man. Moving on, Georgia and Kentucky, 13-12. As you can see, Georgia didn't score a touchdown to the fourth quarter. In fact, they were down. Apparently, Kentucky had the ball, and a lot of people think that they should have gone for it on fourth down instead of punting to Georgia, who then went down and scored the game-winning touchdown, which I can probably attest to. I would not trust my defense to hold Georgia the entire game, even if they have the whole game. Still, it's Georgia. But this game will be important later because, as we see, Texas played UTSA. Quinn Ewers went out, I believe, in the third quarter. Halfway through the third quarter, with suddenly dropped abdominal pain. They say it's an abdominal strain. He will be out next week for ULM, which is a game I'm going to. So I'll get to watch Arch Manning play a full game, which is going to be pretty awesome. And I'm assuming he's going to make the ticket prices go up even further. Thankfully, we've already bought our tickets, but those that are buying it the week of are probably going to have quite a big increase in sales because it's going to be Arch Manning's full first game at Texas. And I think he might be a Texas legend in the next couple of years. But they won 56-7. Scored 2 touchdowns every quarter. Let's go ahead and go to the GameCast here. This was not even close the whole game. Arch Manning, 9-12, only missed 3 passes, 223 yards, 4 touchdowns. His first, I think, 3 drives were touchdowns. Gibson, Jadon Blue did not play this game, resting up, but Gibson played very, very well. 13 carries, 75 yards. Wingo again leading Texas in receiving yards. Again, a guy who's not starting on the football game is now Texas's leading receiver. If we go into the full box score here, see Quinn Ewers was playing very, very well, out of his mind. In fact, 14-16, 845 yards. Did have an interception, though. It was just an unearned throw. Trey Owens even got some playing time. Isaiah Bond had 100 receiving yards. He finally woke up. Gardner Helm, the tight end, had this insane play where he jumped over a defender as a tight end, which is really impressive. So Arch Manning also had he did get sacked twice. There's the play there. 5 touchdowns. He got like a 65-yard rushing touchdown, which is not we have not really seen since Colt McCoy and Vince Young. So Arch Manning is looking as promised. I will say that after that first, he did look a little scared. They were putting pressure on him. And then he woke back up and dominated the rest of the game. Alabama, Wisconsin. People thought this might be a closer game. Wisconsin at the time was 2-0. Alabama puts a can of whoop ass on Wisconsin at their own home field, 42-10. Alabama looking much better than when they played South Florida. Might have been a trap game for them. I think they'll be pretty good. Ole Miss playing Wake Forest. No surprise. Blowout 46. Jackson Dart almost 400 yards for him. 148 yards rushing for Parrish Jr. Boston College and Missouri. This game was very, very close. Again, Boston College, as I've said, were actually in the playoffs and were the top 4 team in my simulation in the football game. But Missouri pulls out the win late, 27-21. Cook 264 yards, 121 yards rushing, and 117. You see, both these two teams have very good skill players here in terms of yardage. So great win for Missouri. They're number 6 in the nation now. Impressive to being utter garbage for a long time. Tennessee versus Kent State, 71-0. Not surprising. Quarterback only had 173 yards. 120 yards for the running back. So I guess they just scored so easily. Wow, I did not see this. They scored 37 points in the first quarter and then 28. So they had, wow, that's embarrassing for Kent State. Oregon and Oregon State. I thought this was going to be a bit closer. Oregon State, obviously, still in the Pac-12. It's the first loss for the Pac-12. 49-14. Kind of got manhandled. Oregon is definitely looking a lot better than how they were looking earlier in the season. That's why they dropped down to number 9 from being in the top 3. But great performance for them. They're proving that it was just early season jitters, and they're now a real contender. But we'll see what happens in the Big Ten. Miami and Ball State, 62-0. Not surprising. Cam Ward, 346 yards, 5 touchdowns for him. Miami is looking like the real deal. That coach was on the hot seat, but he finally got a good quarterback, and now they are in the top 10. Utah and Utah State was a bit closer than expected. Cam Rising hurt again. Wilson had himself a first game, 239 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So even if Cam Rising goes out, they have a pretty good freshman quarterback. And when Cam Rising eventually goes to the NFL or tries to go to the NFL, they got a good quarterback right after him. So Utah should be good for quite some time, especially in the new Big 12. Are they in the Big 12? Yeah. So Arizona's not in the top 3. It would be Utah, Oklahoma State, and Kansas State are going to be competing for a long time in the Big 12. But Utah is looking very, very good. Speaking of Big 12, Oklahoma State and Tulsa, 45-10. Bowman, 4 yards away from 400 yards. Impressive. Tulane, Oklahoma. This game was pretty close. Actually, it really wasn't, but 34-19. Tulane, obviously playing 2 very tough teams. Might be the only 2 losses of the year. They had been a really good team, and they've gone 22-10 past couple of years. But obviously a tougher schedule this year. That's why they're 1-2 so far. But not really much you expect. I honestly thought that maybe they could pull off the upset, but I was wrong. LSU versus South Carolina. Actually, LSU was down 15 at the half. Ends up coming back. The South Carolina quarterback was having a great game. Gets hurt, gets pulled out. And as you can see here in the third, they were unable to do much. Running back had a great game, but losing that quarterback I think hurt them a lot. LSU survives. South Carolina misses a game-tying field goal attempt. LSU staves off the upset. But South Carolina might be a pretty good team. Well, I don't know. It's the SEC, so while they have a good quarterback, depending on how long he's hurt for, but it's just so much talent in the SEC that it's so hard. Like, if you put South Carolina with that quarterback in any other conference, ACC, Big 12, they might compete to win it, to be real with you. Arkansas State and Michigan, 28-18. Another very close game. That should not be that close against Arkansas State. Are you kidding me? Again, as I said, I think the Texas and Michigan game will not be that much of a huge victory at the end of the season. I think Michigan's going to have a tough year this year. I gotta be real with you. Finally got the running game going though. Mullins had 153 yards. Notre Dame and Purdue. Now obviously Notre Dame coming off first loss, upset versus Illinois, and they manhandled Purdue. People thought this might be a much closer game, but it was not. They finally figured out. Is that Hudson Card? It is. Hudson Card actually played at Texas. It was a backup. No, at Purdue, and it looks like he's not having a great time at Purdue. He had 2 interceptions, 124 yards, including a pick 6. Notre Dame finally figuring it out, 66-7 again against Purdue, but we'll see what happens the rest of the year. Nebraska and Northern Iowa, 34-3. Not very close. Raiola, the star rookie, I suppose, who is probably going to have Nebraska in the top 25 for the next couple of years. 2 years if he stays just 2 years, but I would expect 3 unless he has a breakout year next year. Never know. They're looking prime and ready to take on Ohio State. I would say, honestly, looking now, I would say the best 3 teams in the Big Ten are Ohio State, Nebraska, and Oregon. Penn State 4th, maybe Michigan 5. But yeah, that's the score. So let's go ahead and go to the top 25. This is what I wanted to see at the end, very importantly, and why I told you to remember the Texas and Georgia game. Because if you can see on the rankings, Texas moved up. Georgia had that scare. Texas has been blowing everyone out. Their backup quarterback comes in and dominates. Again, it's only UTSA, but Texas is number 1 in the nation for the first time in 16 years. In 16 years. I would assume since Colt McCoy lost the national championship. They move up 1. Ohio State, Alabama, Ole Miss stays. Missouri dropped 1. Tennessee moves up 1. I mean, they played nobody and they've been blowing people out, so I wouldn't have changed that. Miami going up 2 to number 8. Oregon still in the top 10. Penn State went down 2, still in the top 10. Trojans just outside at 11. Utah at 12. Kansas State moving only up 1. I would have figured they would have moved up. Honestly, with that win, I'm putting them in the top 10. I think the Kansas State should be above Penn State after that impressive win against Arizona, blowout win against Arizona. So maybe a bit of bias for the AP poll here. They only move up 1 at 13. Oklahoma State, they jump Oklahoma State. Oklahoma at 15, LSU at 16. Notre Dame moves back up 1. Michigan moves down 1. Louisville staying the same at 19. Iowa State moving up 1. Clemson moving up 1. They're back. No, they didn't make the top 25, but they're back up 1. Nebraska up 1. Northern Illinois ranked still 2-0. Illinois now formerly not ranked. A&M back in the top 25. Memphis. Oh, I've got to show you guys this. Let me go to scores here. Who else? We got Michigan, Memphis, Syracuse, Boise State, UNLV. Let's go to scores here. Let's go to the Big 12. Drop down. Of course, we're going to cover Colorado. Where are they? Oh, this was a great game here. The backyard bash, or whatever they call it. Fantastic game. Colorado blows up Colorado State. All that smack they were talking. Colorado blows them out, 28-9. Shedeur Sanders, 310 yards. Travis Hunter, 100 yards. 2 touchdowns, including an interception. Very impressive. Colorado signs the doubters. There was a part at the end. The quarterback for CSU was talking a lot of smack on Instagram and on social media So at the end of the game, he comes over to try and shake Sanders' hand, and Sanders doesn't shake his hand and says, "You're talking all that stuff. You can't mess with me." Well, he used a different word than mess. But now there's a lot of people talking about, oh, sure, Sanders is a poor winner. He has no class. The guy talked crap and didn't back it up. I don't think it'd be that much of a big deal if he wasn't Shedeur Sanders. I'm agree with you. I think just because of his name, either you love him or you hate him, and that's just the way it is with people that are that big. What else are we looking at? Yes, the ACC, not the American. Excuse me. The ACC. Right here. Florida State pays Memphis $1.3 million to play them at home, and Memphis beats them, quote unquote, upsets them. Florida State is now 0-3. Florida also lost. This is the first time since 1955 that both Power 5 Florida teams have not won a game. Florida lost to Sanford, of all teams. Let's go to SEC. Where are they? Oh, sorry, they lost to. They beat Sanford. Sorry, they lost to A&M. My fault. Yeah, they lost to A&M 33 to them. The new quarterback for Texas A&M is looking a lot better than the other guy. UNLV apparently did something. I don't know who they played, but apparently they played pretty well. Maybe upset somebody because if you look at the rankings here, they're getting picks to be ranked. Arizona dropped out. Boston College dropped out. That's fine. Oh, they're here right here. What did they do? Who did they beat? They beat Kansas. Yeah, they upset Kansas. It's funny. People thought that Kansas might win the Big 12 this year, and they suck again. That is the ASCA coaches poll. Okay. Whatever. Memphis ranked in that one. I would back it. Well, not really. Florida State sucks. Anyways, that is week 3. If you guys enjoyed, again, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more content. We've got more weekly recaps coming up. We got more Hawaii Dynasty. Might even do a Road to Glory as well. Space Marine 2. Cool videos coming your way, so do subscribe if you want more content. If you haven't, go check out my Twitch, my live stream if you want to hang out with me while I play games. All my videos that I do for football and Space Marines, I actually use the Twitch function on my Xbox to record it, live stream on Twitch, and then bring it over here. So if you do want to hang out with me and talk to me and chat, always do that, and that would be great. Appreciate it. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, bros. Appreciate the support, big or small. This is DC3 signing out, and as always, stay frosty.